First of all, a very good afternoon to all of you, and thank you, Coach and Shipyard, for giving us this opportunity to speak about our challenges with the Indian maritime, commercial shipbuilding, and the defense shipbuilding. So, first of all, we need to understand that pumps and valves sits in category C, okay, which are completely non-critical. However, those are the most critical components right now, and which are creating a lot of vacuum within the manufacturers and the shipyards. Okay. Now, we cannot mix defense shipyards and the commercial shipyards. These both have very separate requirements, separate class requirements. So, when we talk about defense vessels, there's a complete separate set of requirements ranging from DME 463 to SOTRs to 3.2 certifications and so on. And when you talk about the commercial shipyard, I think it is not as stringent as the naval shipyard is, and you only require an approval from any ISCS member. Okay. Likewise, when we talk about indigenization, I heard a gentleman from Cochin Shipyard stating about the requirement of approximately 6 lakh valves per annum for commercial shipbuilding, which probably cannot be indigenized. Reason being, the valve selection and the pump selection vendor is done by the ship owner, not by the shipyard. So in that case, it is quite contradicting when we talk about indigenizing valves and pumps, when the ship owner is taking a call that who is he going to select as a vendor to supply all these components. Okay. On the other hand, when we talk about defense shipbuilding, naval ships, we've been supplying to various shipyards across all DPSUs, ranging from JRSE to MDL, HSL, and all of the shipyards, L&D shipbuilding. We have executed projects like CTS, MPV, FSS, NGOPV, and so on. Our main challenge lies with the clarity and a structured model between the OEM, the shipyard, and the classification body. There is a lot of confusion. Okay. For example, if we are supplying valves for a similar vessels, 2 separate shipyards, we have to follow 2 separate SOTRs, 2 separate QAPs, 2 separate GATs, and we have to prepare all these documents twice for both the shipyards and to satisfy them. I don't understand. It's the same ship, it's the same size of the ship, it's the same project. Why can't we standardize all the valves, pumps, all the components required jointly within both these yards, which can expedite in terms of design, in terms of quality requirements, in terms of sourcing the raw material, you know. On the other hand, when we talk about defense shipbuilding, the main challenge lies with the raw material procurement, you know. So mainly in defense vessels, you are required to deal with nickel, aluminum, bronze. The standard would be NES 747, gunmetal, and other materials, you know. And we understand there is class 1, class 2, and class 3 valves. Class 1 and class 2 usually fall in a more critical category compared to class 3 valves. So when we talk about class 1 and class 2 valves, there is usually witness pouring required for all these valves, and especially when we talk about hull valves. Now what happens is, lately even the defense shipyards have started procuring low-grade materials for certain non-critical applications like carbon steel valves and stainless steel valves. Now what happens, the quantity of these particular material are so low, maybe hundreds of kgs, and no foundries are willing to accept and give us a witness pouring for 200 and 300 kgs. And if they are accepting it, they are charging us a premium which is absolutely obnoxious and which is almost 10 times of the cost of the valve. See, India still remains an extremely cost-conscious market. The reason India is accelerating today in the global ship markets is because of our conscious nature of spending on projects. So quality is by default not something spoken about. But yes, if India is delivering with quality and with cost consciousness, I think all SMEs should be given that leverage of getting things structured with the classification societies, with the manufacturers, with the OEM, you know, which gives us a larger perspective. Apart from that, we have no clue that what is the quantum of valves need to be supplied per annum for next 5 years or 10 years, you know, because there's no consortium of shipyards who would come together and say, okay, we are going to we are building, say, 50 defense vessels and we'll require 5,000 valves, okay? It's case-to-case basis. So the requirement definitely cannot be identified to the last point, but more or less, we can have a rough idea where we manufacturers can always, think about raising the capex required for the coming years if a big order is placed with us. So there are challenges, but I see a very bright future with shipbuilding, extremely bright future. The requirements are increasing by the day. Shipbuilders themselves are doing a fantastic job by supporting us at every step. Classification societies are also extending their help. They are calling us over. So I think more than, putting a grievance ahead, I would say we should work together towards a betterment of shipbuilding industry, because I see the capability and the ability of all the OEM manufacturers, pumps, valves, pipes. We have huge ability. India has huge ability to progress ahead and fire ahead and become a global leader in shipbuilding industry. So yeah, that's.
Thank you, sir, for your thoughts.